KEYC News Now to Go is sponsored by River's Edge Hospital and Clinic. People caring for people.
Moments like these make life worth living. River's Edge Hospital and Clinic is your partner in taking control of your own health. Take your steps towards a lasting tomorrow. River's Edge Hospital.
Hello and thanks for joining us for this KEYC News Now to Go update. I'm Jackson Jurek. In a few minutes, I'll be joined by First Alert meteorologist Caitlyn with a look at today's forecast and the week ahead. We'll start with state news. Minnesota Senate President Bobby Joe Champion will be at the center of an ethics hearing as early as next week. The state senator from Minneapolis, who serves as a private practice attorney outside of the legislature, is the subject of a new ethics complaint that alleges he violated the Senate's conflict of interest rules. Quinn Gorham explains the situation and what complaint authors hope to achieve.
Hopefully the committee sees the seriousness of this and takes some sort of meaningful action.
Senator Michael Cruen is one of 6 Republicans to lodge a formal ethics complaint against Senate President Bobby Joe Champion. An attorney himself, Cruen will attempt to show that Senator Champion violated the body's conflict of interest rules.
Well, the Ethics Committee has a wide range of remedies at their disposal. My job is just to present the facts to the committee.
The complaint against Champion is a thorough one. 166 pages of Senate hearings, bills, and rules will aim to show that the Minneapolis senator should have disclosed the alleged conflict of interest.
Senator Champion had an opportunity to disclose his relationship with his legal client and didn't. And that would be when he chief authored the bill, when he presented that bill in committee, when he included that bill into his omnibus bill, which, by the way, he was the chair of the committee.
In a statement, Champion maintained that he didn't need to disclose his connection since his work with the former client was pro bono. He pointed to a section of Senate rules that says that a member must benefit, quote, directly and financially to require disclosure. Cruen, on the other hand, says the nature of that work doesn't matter.
Whether or not that client is a paying client, or whether it's a pro bono client. Certain responsibilities and certain duties of loyalty to that client arise once you've established that attorney-client relationship.
The Ethics Committee will have the final say, and they'll have 30 days from last Friday to hear the complaint. We expect them to take the issue up when the legislature returns from this week's Easter and Passover break. Reporting in St. Paul, I'm Quinn Gorham.
Closer to home, a Nobles County Sheriff's deputy is critically injured in a 2-vehicle crash in southwestern Minnesota. The wreck involving 2 SUVs happened around 4:30 p.m. Sunday on westbound Interstate 90 in DeWald Township. Nobles County Sheriff's Deputy Arnold Logan Walder of nearby Worthington was hospitalized with life-threatening injuries. The other driver, 63-year-old Teresa Ann Baird of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, was hospitalized with less serious injuries. Sheriff Ryan Kruger told the Worthington Daily Globe that Walner was seated inside his Park Squad car at the time of a crash. The detour for the Highway 60 Lake Crystal project is scheduled to start today, though traffic will be detoured to County Road 13 near Madelia and Highway 169 through this fall. The project includes reconstructing Highway 60 from Blue Earth County Road 20 to Blue Earth County Road 112 and utility replacement in coordination with the City of Lake Crystal. The $18.3 million project also includes bridge repairs, intersection improvements, construction of a pedestrian trail, and lighting. Well, the City of North Mankato has received funding to go toward a study of Lee Boulevard. The Mankato-North Mankato Area Planning Organization awarded the city $60,000 toward the study of Lee Boulevard from Lookout Drive to Belgrade Avenue. The study will look at flood mitigation strategies, street access management, intersection traffic control systems, lane configurations, and bike or pedestrian activity. The study started at the end of March and is expected to conclude in November. We're going to switch gears a little bit. Caitlyn Lohr, First Alert meteorologist here at KEYC, joining me at the desk. Caitlyn, a lot nicer of a day in terms of breeziness, but this morning it was a little chilly when I walked outside to go to the gym.
Yeah, that's what I like to call the spring chill, because it's really only in those morning hours, and then the sun comes up and it's kind of like that wet chill. There was no chill. What are you talking about? No, but that's something that we get very, very common this time of year, and we're still going to have a breeze, but it's not going to make you blow down the road to maybe your neighbor's house or something. You'll be able to get outside. I know I didn't really get outside yesterday with Harvey. It was just way too windy. Yeah. I think that wind would have picked him up and blown him around. But today you'll be able to get outside, maybe go fly a kite, things like that, because one, we've got sunshine. Two, winds are going to be a little bit lighter. Here's what we're looking at for the day coming up, your hour-by-hour forecast. Not a whole lot to talk about, honestly, and that's kind of a good thing for a change other than that breeze out there. But as far as the weather itself goes, we're looking at sunshine through the day today. Seasonal temperatures with a high of 55 degrees. You can't get really bad with that for this time of year. Get out there and enjoy it, especially that sunshine. I know we're dealing with a breeze, but we're only looking at about 10 to 20 miles an hour, occasional gusts up to 30 throughout the day, so way lighter than what we were dealing with yesterday. Yesterday, winds were sustained between 25 and 35 miles an hour, gusts succeeding past 40 miles an hour. So really, even though it's still breezy, it is quite a big difference from yesterday. We can't hear it howling here in the studio, which is a nice, quiet, calm down from yesterday. And speaking of that calm down, we're going to look at those winds. They're going to calm down even more for tonight, though temperatures are going to get a little chilly because we don't have that blanket of clouds over us. We're looking at a low of 33 degrees by tomorrow morning. But the good news is we've got those light winds. If that breeze was going to stick around tonight like it had last night into this morning, we'd be dealing with bitter wind chill values once again in the teens and 20s tomorrow morning versus maybe the mid to upper 20s. Kind of similar situation tomorrow morning than what we had exactly happen this morning because of those lighter winds. Stronger winds, more drastic wind chill that we have to deal with. Taking a look at tomorrow, we are going to see a little bit of additional cloud coverage across the area, but we're going to stay dry through the day. We're looking at temperatures rising into the mid 60s by tomorrow afternoon, but take a look at those winds. They're going to stay breezy going into and throughout tomorrow, and that's kind of the biggest story of this week are those breezy winds. Now, one thing we are excited to see is that we are seeing those improvements made with the drought monitor, less of that tan color, more of that yellow, which means that we're getting to that abnormally dry condition. After that, you're going to start to see those colors go away, just like we have seen around the Twin Cities. Rain chances return on Thursday with up to 1/4 inch of rain by Friday morning. We're not done with the rain there. We're looking at a little bit more through early next week, but at least those temperatures are staying consistent, anywhere from the mid to upper 50s into the 60s and sometimes beyond. We've had a few days in the 70s already.
Hopefully, fingers crossed that this weekend is nice for those that are going to celebrate Easter, maybe get out and hunt some eggs. Who knows what's going to happen, but fingers crossed, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you know, I do want to mention the rain as of right now on Sunday is looking to hold off until after 8 p.m. Sunday night. So those of you that celebrate, I know we're going to be doing our egg hunt outside. Yep. I'm going to ask the Easter Bunny to leave Harvey's eggs outside because he can't get enough of it. So.
Well, thank you very much, Caitlyn. We're going to transition with some sports real quick. The Mankato East boys basketball team finished the season as the runner-up in Class 3A to mark the end of an incredible year for the Cougars. It's also the first season Mankato East has had a representative as part of the final 5 candidates for this year's Mr. Basketball Minnesota Award.
You gotta love the game to be this good. I think Sioux Falls got lucky.
Mankato East put up some big numbers this season, and one of the reasons behind such a strong year came from a talented senior class, including Brogan Madsen.
He's not the tallest kid. He maybe doesn't shoot the deepest three compared to some kids. He doesn't dunk like some of the kids, but he just flat out competes.
Madsen led the team in key categories after posting a line of nearly 23 points, 5 assists, and 2.5 steals per game this season. But outside of all the stats he put up is a will to win that became very evident early on in his high school career.
I hope that a lot of the younger kids see that, you know, if you work hard, you can get wherever you want to go.
The point guard is the first from the program to be a finalist for the Mr. Basketball Award, but he hopes in the future a player from the program can go one step further and win the honor.
We have some great young players on our team that I think will be up for the challenge and be up to put in the work in the offseason, and we have some great guys who will put in the work, I know.
Even though it's an individual award, Madsen wouldn't be a finalist without the group of players around him.
The guys that he had, teammates that just make life so much easier for you as a player when you've got good teammates, and that's such a big deal.
The honor for Madsen marks the end of an impressive high school career, which includes a couple of runner-up finishes in the Class 3A state tournament. As one chapter ends for the playmaker, another one will begin as the guard gets ready to hit the floor and compete at the collegiate level for the University of Sioux Falls.
Congratulations to Brogan Madsen on being named a finalist from us here at KEYC. That'll do it for Caitlyn and I. Thanks for watching this KEYC News Now to Go update. Stay with KEYC News Now for the latest local news, weather, and sports on our website.
And download the free KEYC News and weather apps for the latest headlines and forecast.